Yeah, Senator, I'm someone that I fully support Canada pulling out of the British Commonwealth, creating a republic, a partnership with the First Nations, non-First Nations, where we enter into a plebiscite. Any major decisions are made by the people. And also at the same time, the reason why I'm saying this, because currently our government is ignoring corporations that are pilfering from our public coffers or taking taxable assets out of BC, the province of British Columbia, billions of dollars each year. We have the BC Bud, which is called actually it's marijuana. It's illegal, but it's making $7 billion a year, and they're not taxing it. So you're looking at the situation. The people are being ignored in this country and in this province. We, the people, need to stand up and basically voice our opinion and embrace a republic, as far as I'm concerned, whereby we put the power back in the hands of the people. What's your thoughts on that, Senator?
Well, I think there's no question that should be done. Now, the question is what it's in the details. Now, the methodology that I propose is for the people. First off, you'd have to do it at a national level, and I'm not knowledgeable about the Canadian Constitution, but if you let's say in an area where I am knowledgeable. If you try it at a provincial level, it could be upset at a national level, and so you'd need to do it at the national level, and have it apply as we do in Korea and in the United States in every government jurisdiction of the country, meaning local government, provincial government, and national government, and that is where people could be able to make laws by initiative, so that let's say you and a group of Canadians decide you want to initiate a law to stop, let's say, the pilfering, or you want to legalize the use of marijuana the way you do alcohol, and have it for sale in liquor stores, and tax it like you do alcohol, and you want to put that before the people of the state of British Columbia. Then you draft that legislation, and then that legislation will be put before the citizens of British Columbia. They would vote on it. If they vote in the affirmative, it becomes the law of British Columbia. If they wanted to do it at a Canada-wide basis, it would be put before the people of Canada, and if they voted in the affirmative, it would be the law of Canada. Now, that procedural process is a legislative process, and it wouldn't make any difference whether you're a republic or a parliamentary system. It would mean, because you see, the people would be acting in their legislative capacity independent of the government, whether it's a parliamentary system or whether it's a republic or a constitutional system. It wouldn't make any difference. The people would be able to make laws, because you see, in the ultimate, the people are sovereign. And the problem is they give their power away on election day to elected representatives who, for whatever reason, in the 21st century, cannot get the job effectively done under the present structure of representative government.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Senator. It pulls right back to Abraham Lincoln when he said democracy is of the people, by the people, and for the people. And
but the way said, Reg, he made a mistake. He was stretching it a little bit. We have government of the people. We have government for the people, because that's what of the people is representative government. For the people is, obviously, that's the reason for government. But we've never had government by the people any place on earth except in Switzerland.
Well, I would like to basically propose that one day Canada, the nation of Canada, actually the meaning of Canada means, in First Nation language, means village. So as we stretch from one coast to the other, we are a gigantic village. We're a melting pot of different cultures. We're a multicultural nation. I propose that one day we'll see the Republic of Canada, whereby we do plebiscites and we allow the people to directly rule, and we only have the elected officials or employees of the people. And if they do anything to hurt the people, then I fully support that they are arrested and charged for any crimes that they commit against the people.
Well, Reg, first off, let me, from my knowledge, the word plebiscite is like a referendum. That's the synonymous word. Plebiscite is primarily a European word. Now, a referendum or a plebiscite, that is a legislative proposal that any legislative body in the world can offer to the people. What I'm talking about is not a plebiscite or a referendum. It's an initiative where individual citizens come together and decide on a proposal, on a law that they wish to offer to the people to look at and decide if they want to enact it into law. And that's a little different, because you see, when people vote on a bond issue for a school, well, that's a plebiscite. All you can do is vote up or down, yes or no. And when the government offers a plebiscite or a referendum, it's just a yes or no vote. You don't get a chance to initiate. And so I'm very much into the whole initiative process where the people act as legislators and not merely as a rubber stamp to the powers of representative government, whether it's a representative government that we choose to call a republic or a representative government that we choose to call a democracy. Because keep in mind, the word republic comes from the Latin and the word democracy comes from the Greek, but they both mean the same thing, and that is it's ruled by the people.
And you were telling me this morning when we had a conversation that you personally knew Pierre Elliott Trudeau, our former Prime Minister here in Canada.
Yeah, we were good friends, and good friends. He spent the holidays with me once in Colorado, and I met him through Jean Chrétien. When I was in the Senate, Chrétien was Minister for Northern Affairs, which of course bordered on Canada. And so Jean, when I met him, said, well, look, I'd like to have you meet Trudeau because, since just a little bit of history, I was the only Franco-American citizen that was ever elected to the United States Senate. So I had and of course I had more relatives in Canada, Quebec, Canada, than I had in the United States. And so there was a natural tie in there. Secondly, I just love Canada. I mean, as we were kids, very modest, we were really, my background is we were really Canucks, and in the real sense of the word. And so as children, we took vacations every year. We'd go to Canada to visit relatives. Well, relatives in Canada would come and visit us. That was the vacations that we could afford in those days. So I have a very, very fond memories of Canada, and as a senator, I was very biased in foreign affairs to helping out Canada as best I could in its relationships with the United States. And so Pierre and I became very good friends, and we had very extensive discussions because, as you know, he was quite the intellect, and I was a theorist also, and so we would discuss. In fact, I'll recall at one meeting I went to Ottawa, and I was sitting in a gallery, and I was watching during the question and answer period at noon, and I'm looking down at this process, and after we had lunch, I said, God, Pierre, this is a great system. I think I prefer the parliamentary system than our constitutional system. And he says, well, I disagree with you. I prefer your constitutional system to our parliamentary system. So it just goes to show that, it's whose ox is being gored. We can look at all the various systems, but what really counts is the division that we have in the world today. We call them democracies. Well, these are systems of government that are ruled by the elites and ruled by the economic elites and the political elites, and that the people at the bottom of the pyramid do not enjoy the benefits of the system in an equitable fashion. And from my point of view, the only way to alter that is not by electing another group of politicians. Politicians mean well. I think that we should always try to get the best people in office. But the structure, the fundamental structure of representative government, which was designed 250 years ago, has not changed one iota. But the advance of society has been awesome, and our system of governance has not kept abreast of those improvements. We now need to make a change. And the change that should be made is to bring the people into the operation of government as legislators, as participants in government able to vote on the issues that affect their lives. Think of it, Reg. Any person with today's technology, with any effort that that person wanted to make, could become a reasonable authority on any subject facing the human race. You could become an authority if you wanted to spend the time on it. That means that that person could be as qualified as anybody in representative government to vote on the issue in question in an intelligent fashion. So why do we have to give all of the power to representatives who must spend a great deal of time responding to the special interest? It's a win-win. If we empower the people to be able to make laws, they will then make the policy decisions, and the representatives will be able to do a better job in the day-to-day operations of government. It's a win-win. Not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than anything we got today.